Hey, good evening, guys. It is time to start Bollocks this evening. Me and Lenny have already argued everything out, so we're just going to give you nothing but love, peace, and happiness tonight. That's probably not true. I can't throw it to Lenny. He just threw a starburst in his mouth, so we don't really know if he can talk at all.
I can work.
So, guess what, Lenny?
Hi.
Did you have a good weekend?
I had a great weekend.
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear it.
Hey, you know where we are?
We are in the
Bozard Ford studio.
damn right we are. And we're happy to be here and this amazing group, Bozard Ford Lincoln in St. Augustine. Their goal is to make sure your time and experience buying a car is stress-free, fun, and enjoyable. Bozard is a family-owned Ford dealership that has been in business since 1949. Bozard Ford Lincoln has been the recipient of numerous dealer awards, including being ranked #1 automotive dealership in the nation by Dealer Rater. Bozard Ford also has won back-to-back President's Awards, which is the highest honor given by Ford Motor Company. Check them out today online at bozardford.com.
These neighborhood diners are more than just a place to eat. They're where hospitality blooms and friends gather. Bring your own or make new ones. The coffee's always hot. The smiles are genuine. The food tastes like home. Every meal is a chance to make memories, share stories, and create bonds that last a lifetime. It's not just about the food on the plate, but the community that comes together at the table. Come see us at Moultrie Creek Diner or Anastasia Diner and tell them Andy sent you.
All right. And Lenny, you have given me a Starburst that is childproof. I have finally broken through
Got it?
the scientific packaging of a Starburst. So I'm happy to do that. But first, I'm going to do this read before I throw this Starburst in my mouth and I sound like Mushmouth. All right. And people under the age of 40 don't know who Mushmouth is.
Exactly.
All right, here we go. A to Z Roofing and Waterproofing for over 20 years has been St. Augustine's trusted name in roofing. From cedar shake and tile to flat roofs and designer shingles, they've got you covered, literally specializing in painted metal roofs for saltwater area homes with warranties up to 25 years and cedar shake shingles warranties up to 50 years. A to Z puts customer satisfaction first. Free estimates, top-tier materials, and service you can count on. Visit A to Z Roofing and Waterproofing.com. Wow, I just stumbled through that.
That's a tough one.
I'm going to try it again.
Yeah.
A to Z Roofing and Waterproofing.com. A to Z Roofing, protecting homes from the top down.
That's a tough one to do. But if you need a trusted electrician in St. Augustine, call Mr. Electric of St. Augustine, a local veteran-owned business providing expert residential and commercial electrical services across St. Johns, Flagler, and Putnam counties. From panel upgrades and lighting installs to safety inspections and EV chargers. Their licensing pros do it all, with upfront pricing and a satisfaction guarantee backed by the neighborly done right promise, flexible scheduling, no surprises, just dependable hometown service. Call 904-289-1217 today or visit online to request service. That's 904-289-1217. Mr. Electric of St. Augustine, your local power experts.
All right, our other amazing sponsors, Brightway Insurance, St. Augustine Pirate Museum, The Saint, Anastasia Construction Group, Solar Stick, Abear Kresge and Associates, Powell Heating and Air, Meehan's, Irish Pub, A to Z.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watering up. I shouldn't have put it in.
You should have waited.
I should have waited. A.D. Davis Construction, Land Title of America, Kaiser's Deli and Market, St. Augustine Distillery, and Citygate Spirits. They're awesome. And I got on my hat that was just given to me from our morning sponsor, B&S Signs. Appreciate you over there. My BFFJ. All right, it's Monday. A lot of things happening. A lot of things happened last week. We got a lot to talk about. I really wish I hadn't put this in my mouth.
Well, I'll fill for you.
It's so good. It's so good. The pink, and you went for the red.
I went for the red, yeah.
I go for the pink. I love them, but it's too much to do and try and do bollocks at the same time.
And you must be in a demographic because apparently there are bags of just pink Starburst.
Yeah, Amanda knew I was having a bad day and bought that for me and brought it in.
Hold on here. Let me grab it.
No, leave it. We got plenty.
I got a whole cup full.
Yeah.
But the fact,
and I have
right,
other ones here.
But the fact that they, segregate the colors now, or you can get pink and all the others.
I don't think anyone's buying the orange.
I don't know. I'd be very happy if they could give me a bag of purple Skittles.
Mm.
I like the grape Skittles.
Okay, you're the grape Skittle
The
guy.
purple dye.
Yeah,
Hey, I got another couple
Doesn't
of years
matter.
before they take it all out of everything.
yeah.
You know?
They're taking all the fun out of the food.
Hey, look, I ate like a madman last night and got on the scale today, and I lost 1.5 pounds. I don't know how that happened, but I also walked 2 miles.
The walking 2 miles does it,
That helped.
and it depends
that
on
definitely helps.
what you ate. When you
Oh,
say
no,
you
I
ate like a madman,
Yeah, I had.
was it a lot of bread, or was it because bread doesn't just burn off?
No, it was 2 ice cream sandwiches,
Completely fine.
2 Nutty Buddy peanut butter cookies.
Those are made with 0 calories.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that clears that right up.
Mm-hmm.
What else? A bunch of teeny little tiny goldfish.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of pretzels.
You
I
did.
say-
You
I
did
say-
a lot of carbs.
I'm telling you, I stayed
I don't
and
know,
only one
I'm-
piece of chocolate. I'm cutting back
I'm
on
going to
sugar
tell
and
you. I'm
chocolate.
going to tell you. I don't know how it happened either. Then.
No, I was pretty surprised at that. Well, and the night before I drank half a bottle of wine, which I might drink the other half tonight. Which you know. But I
Well,
said-
you have to, because you can't let it go another day.
No, I know exactly.
Yeah.
It's going to go with dinner tonight. I'm making a beautiful chicken thighs with fennel and onions and celery in the sauce. It's going to be very lovely. If I can get 1 plum tomato, I'd be happy. But if I can't,
I'm cooking gator butt today. That's what I got today to cook. I'm cooking gator butt. I have it.
Fry it up?
I have it marinating. So I'll fry it. I'll fry it up in the pan,
nice.
and then I have another like pound sitting out with no marinade on it. That I might put a batter on and deep fry that.
Okay.
So
That's the way to go.
I'm gonna do the other one in the frying pan. Probably tomorrow night. I'll deep fry and make tenders out of the other one.
What kind of sauce are you going to use? That's the key.
I like a good hot sauce.
Yeah.
I like a good buffalo
give you the-
zesty hot sauce.
Give you the easiest buffalo hot sauce recipe out there. You don't have to gild the lilies. 3 ingredients:
Okay,
white vinegar,
got it.
unsalted butter.
Don't have that. Why,
All right,
why would
so-
anyone have unsalted butter?
Because you can control the salt in your dishes by yourself, as opposed to using salted butter,
okay.
and then you have less control over the salt.
All right, I'm good with a lot of salt.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
clog it up.
Frank's Louisiana hot sauce. Just
Frank's.
those 3.
Okay.
Mix them together, bring them up to a little boil, knock them down, cool it off. Perfect.
Now, why are you going with buffalo sauce? Don't you like Dal if you gator?
Well, when I made it with Chick-fil-A, the Chick-fil-A batter, then the Chick-fil-A sauce worked.
Okay.
But I don't think I'm making it with that. I'm making it with more of a daddle batter.
Okay.
And then I think that I might just go with just daddle sauce on top.
Yeah, I mean, if you're
As
doing
the
daddle
sauce.
in the batter, then you don't need the buffalo sauce.
So, Kenny says Tim has some good daddle sauce. Yeah, I am filled with daddle sauce at my house for sure. So
And
I love daddle on pretty much everything.
I'm with you on that. And my daddle plant now has a bunch of flowers on it, which should be turning into peppers very soon.
Yeah,
And then
the
they'll
best
turn
deviled
orange.
eggs. The best deviled eggs I make is because of the Menorcan mustard, the daddle mustard. So. All right, we came in with nothing really to talk about because what we wanted to talk about was freedom of speech.
All right.
You had a couple of topics, I think, out there that you kind of wanted to lead with. So I'm going to let you lead the conversation as I try and get this
Finish your starburst.
starburst down.
Well, my question is, if we're talking about freedom of speech, and you should have freedom of speech in this country, and there are people who are paid to be opinion columnists, journalists, talking heads, and they make a comment, and then they're fired for the comment for which is their role, what's going on?
All right. And I'm from the business side. My business brain works. And we're in the, and a lot of people don't realize this. And news is this way, and I don't think people realize this. News is this way.
A business.
It's a marketing business.
More so now than ever.
That delivers the news.
Right.
Okay. That's what we are. I mean, you guys see the scrolls and you see all those things. we're a marketing business, and I tell Blake, I tell Rebecca, but we try and get as most accurate information out there. We're very fortunate that our sponsors are all very rational people and give us the freedom to do what we want to do. But we're also not dealing with billion-dollar contracts or million-dollar contracts where we have to be cautious of what we say.
Right.
So I'm not sure what the words were that triggered it, because I read it and I didn't see why.
talking about Matthew Dowd?
Well, yeah, Matthew Dowd. I didn't see. Well, you actually read it to me. I didn't read it. You read it to me, but I listened.
I didn't leave out any words.
I listened. I don't think you paraphrased it.
Nope.
So I didn't see what was so damning that would create that. But I'm also not the person that runs the business that he works for. So that person is the one who has to deal with that ramification, because there's certain people that have gotten fired, and the person that got fired went on to be way more successful than the group they left. And most of the time, that's how it plays out. So, you know, I was asked to possibly leave my job 12 years ago. 13 years ago, sorry.
I'm having an Odd Couple flashback. Go ahead.
13 years ago. All right. Now I am a guy who pretty much you get what you get with me. And if you don't like me, I'm okay with that. You don't have to. I'm completely okay with it. Because I don't care what you think of me, because I'm probably not thinking of you at all. So,
Right.
you know, that's kind of my mantra, but I'm going to be me, and I always have to be me. So I left that job. When I left that job, and actually that morning I said, I'm going in to say these things, and 3 things are going to happen, and none of them are good.
Well, you went in with the foreknowledge.
I knew
Right.
that my words were going to hurt my potential of continuing to work at that job. But I had to do it. I had to. It was in me, and I had to do it. I understood when I said those words. And when I say words here, unless you hear me apologize almost immediately because I've said something firing off, because we do that.
Right.
We fire off, and then we go, I probably should have cushioned that a little bit better. But I knew I had to live with that. The person who said these words, Dowd, he said these words. He's an intelligent guy. He knew when he said these words, okay, this could have a negative impact. If he didn't realize that,
I wonder.
Then he was unaware of the person he was actually working for. I was completely aware of the person I was working for, and yet I still used words in that conversation that I knew were going to be costly.
Well, it's interesting because I believe he was fired from MSNBC, which is a left-leaning. I mean, I have a hard time listening to MSNBC a lot when it comes down to it at times. It's a left-leaning news organization. He was working as an opinion commentator, yet they fired him for that. So I'm curious. And when I read the comment to you, and when I read the comment myself, it was expository, but it wasn't necessarily inflammatory. So,
Yeah, I can tell you, I did not see what he said to be overly offensive. I could see how it hurt some other people that were super sensitive in a
well, it's also,
in a certain position. But I did not see it being overly offensive.
Well, we always joke about, and you say something and it's too soon.
Yeah.
This also could be a huge case of too soon. Right now, there's raw wounds in the country that need to have a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of time to heal. But, there's a lot of people that aren't allowing for that to happen. They're looking for, I don't know what kind of closure you're going to get or expect. And I feel for this family. It's, these 2 small children are going to grow up without their father. They're 1 and 3,
Yeah.
So
no,
he'll have memories. And
I mean, he's a guy, in my opinion, who did very well for himself, and very well for his family. I believe he truly believed what he was saying. and felt strongly about it. And I believe he understood it. And, he traveled with security. He knew some of the dangers, but I don't think anyone saw this horrific of an action coming from an area that should have been one of the most welcoming areas. Like, he went into some pretty hostile environments, but I didn't see Utah being that.
No.
And I don't think he did either.
Correct.
So,
and I'm sure there was a turning point chapter on that campus, because I think that's who invited him to the campus, if I'm not mistaken. And I might be.
Correct.
yeah.
So, it was sort of, he was welcomed and he was there. But by that same token, correct me if I'm off base on this, but I would venture to say that, a lot of his opinions are polarizing, that his supporters embrace them and support that. But there's, as many people that disagree with those opinions.
And we talked a little bit about this. And when you are a religious-based decision maker, you're going to be polarized by the other side who believes something different than you or doesn't believe in what you believe in. And if you do not understand that portion of it, I encourage you to find out more what the other side believes before you go into this. I think he fully knew what the other side believes. I think he fully knew he was trying his best to recruit people to his side. And I think he was doing a pretty good job of it. He was getting paid very well to do it. He had, a tremendous following. He was employing, I think they said 120 something people with the foundation. He was 31 years old and, found a level of success. His tragic death, unfortunately, way too soon at 31.
It's going to magnify that.
It's going to magnify what his message was. There are people making comparisons from the far right that I don't feel are appropriate to the actions he was doing, because I do believe he was doing it to get his message across. He was supporting his family. He was supporting a business, even though it was a foundation or a movement. But some of the comparisons that the far right's making, I think, are extreme. And that does not diminish this man as a person, a father, or any of those things. But the heinous crime that took place should not happen to any human being.
Correct.
It doesn't make him any different than any of the other deaths that have occurred out there from a basis of hate. Okay, and that comes from both sides. And if a crime happens from a basis of hate because of your religion, because of your political beliefs, because of the color of your skin, that is the most heinous crime. And I do not look at the person that's committed this crime as being an equal human to me. And you guys can take that the way you want to take it. I know there were some strong emotions in there, but that is where I'm at. And the good news is I can't get fired from this job unless I fire myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
That'd be a tough conversation.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, believe me, I don't like me all the time. Yeah.
just don't look in the
I have
mirror.
that I have that conversation a lot, but I love me all the time. Right. I don't always like me, but I do love me all the time.
That's healthy.
And not in a creepy way either.
Way to walk that one back. Yeah, exactly.
Just in case Blake decided to take that and make it into a reel.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something real quick. Like when we're talking about the legacy, did you happen to get like any text from like Turning Point, or like any organization, like after the shooting that says like we need to support the Republican Party more because
scams?
Yes,
there was scams everywhere, and they look for every possible dark opportunity. I mean, hell, the reason they had to take the jail log down is because people were using the jail log to break into people's houses or take over their identities or exploiting them with their relatives with fake bail bonds and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The criminals out there work so hard. If they worked just as hard to make our country better than they did to rip people off, man, we'd have a great country.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly. You know, they spend, it always fascinates me, the energy that people put into doing ill, you know, malfeasance, you know, instead of doing it to do it the right way.
So, and do I want people to be able to freely talk? Yes, I want people to be able to freely talk. But if you're doing it at a detriment to your business, you have to understand you're going to get fired. Or there's a potential of some backlash or negative impact on the workforce. And I know some of these people that they're out there and they're saying that we're attacking free speech and stuff like that. I am a fighter for freedom of speech, but I also understand that that's a decision that boss or that owner had to make. And usually if you make the wrong decision, you're going to pay a bigger penalty than the person that gets fired.
Okay.
Because I can tell you right now, I went in there knowing exactly what was going to happen to me. I couldn't be in a happier place than where I'm at right now, employment-wise.
Okay. So let me ask you a question.
Or in my life.
You know,
I didn't mean to just say it employment-wise. I mean, or in my life. I'm where I'm supposed to be right now.
So we were talking earlier, and you were explaining the fact that in a free-to-work state or in a private company or things of that nature, you can get fired for whatever. And my question is twofold. One, and if you're doing it on your private social medias and you're not doing it, espousing it in the workplace, you know, why is it any concern of theirs if it doesn't affect the business or the workplace and you're exercising your opinion? And more importantly, if you're employed by a newspaper and you're working in an opinion section and the owner of the newspaper doesn't like your opinion, again, he has the right to follow you, but what does that say about the newspaper?
That's the choice people have to make on which side they want to be on that. You know, that owner made that choice. I've seen it more times than not. The person who is on the side of right ends up victorious in the long run.
Right.
It might feel like a pain in the ass right now, but this is my own personal experience. When something similar to this happened to me, I was like, well, this really sucks, but because I didn't have an exact plan, but I financially was in a pretty good position at the time. But the person who is on the side of right, usually the guys in the white hats usually come out on top. And I know people don't believe that in a lot of ways because they think, oh, it's the person of power. But even the person of power, it catches up to. And the person on the right usually prevails. So,
well,
doesn't always work that in war, but I mean, in personal experiences that I've had.
At that point in time, though, so from a newspaper point of view, you know, once they start putting the thumb on the scale of their own opinion columnists and, you know, either edit or take them offline because they're not liking their opinions, then, you know, at a certain point in time, when time do you start questioning the news that they're reporting as being accurate and not pointed? And what time does it start becoming a newspaper and become a propaganda arm?
Okay, here's, I'm going to put myself in a scenario and you tell me as a boss if you think this is the way I would have handled that.
Okay.
All right. You've written an editorial. I give you full reign to write the editorial. All right. I would probably go to you and say, hey, Lenny, I don't agree with what you said. All right. So I'm going to write a counterpoint in tomorrow's paper, arguing the other side. And then we're going to put the two of them together.
Fine.
Okay. That's how I would have handled it on this network.
Counterpoint.
Yeah, I would have said, hey, you have a right to your opinion. Now I'm going to give mine, you know, of where I'm at. And I believe, you know, pick and choose which way you want to be. You want to be in the middle somewhere, that's fine too. But give people that option because I do believe people are smart enough to make their own choice. And I don't think a lot of these news networks believe that. They believe they need to absorb like a sponge everything we say and then follow us the way we want to be followed. Fox does it, CNN does it, MSNBC does it, all the networks out there do it. But I want to give them the information and let them select from there. And I know that doesn't always work in the real world. And it might not be profitable in the real world, but like I said, we're in a very fortunate situation where we have people that support us that understand I want to keep that balance. So, as an employee, how would you have taken that? Or as a boss, how would you have handled it differently than me?
Well, if it was, all right, so we read your piece and we want to counter piece to balance that out, fine, because as an opinion person, your opinion is going to be your opinion and somebody's going to have a different opinion. And for a news organization or a newspaper to put that out, that's fine. I think part of the issue we're dealing with now is the 24-hour news cycle and the fact that you can't get, piece from any of these news stations, whether it's Fox, MSNBC, CNN, US, whatever it is, Newsmax, whoever they are. It's constant, and they need to fill space. And when they do that, they're just putting everything out there in the, it's like clean up an aisle 4 after the fact. After the bottle breaks, they go back and clean it up. In the old days when you had, local news at 6 o'clock and national news at 6:30, it was over at 7 o'clock, and you got another half an hour at 11 to 11:30, and 10 minutes of that, fortunately, was sports. The rest of the day went on, and you weren't beaten over the head with everything that was going on.
Well,
and they had to be a little bit more concise and a little bit more accurate. So nowadays, the rushes, it's like the old days when extra, and I got an exclusive. I got to get my story into the newspaper and get it out onto the street before somebody else does. Mm-hmm. That's what's happening too. Everybody's rushing to get the first comment out there or the first news story out there without the details.
And there's always been the ability to scoop, and there's always been the ability to rush to get that story. Mm-hmm. And we do it here like everybody else. We want to be the first one to get you that information, but we always want to try and get it to you as accurately as we possibly can. These big networks are entertainment companies. They're marketing companies that provide some news. Right. And they don't always focus on the Ed Murrows, the Walter Cronkikes, the people that we truly trusted and respected. And because the backlash from the public has hurt their sponsors so much. And this is, and you guys always tell me I use the term woke incorrectly, but we have created a society that if you're on the wrong side of that, you can get cancel culture can attack you on a regular basis. They're trying to do it. Anyone who has a different thought process from you, like the left went after Chick-fil-A and Hobby Lobby. All right. And sometimes that works. Sometimes it doesn't work. The right's targeted, I think Starbucks before. I mean, it's targeted some of the more liberal leaning businesses. And the thing is if you're doing your business right, you're going to survive. Because you can't be reactive. You have to be true to your business and what your business message is. And we have to, like I said in Troy's 2 cents, politics has become too involved in our day-to-day. We need to be humans. We need to be fathers. We need to be husbands. We need to be, neighbors and friends. And then the other shit can take care of itself. And unfortunately, we start a lot of our decisions from a group of people that are over here that don't know your life at all.
Right.
And they try and cookie cutter everything. If I wanted to buy something at Starbucks, I don't buy coffee. And the party I'm with, and I'm kind of not really with the party, tells me I can't buy it. I'm going to go, that doesn't make a decision. I'm still buying it.
Right.
And that's the closest I come to being woke.
An economic boycott. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I never have done an economic boycott, but I don't like Tom Cruise movies.
Okay.
I just don't go to the
Right.
movies. So
Right.
I just don't like Tom Cruise movies. But I mean, that's the closest I think I have to ever doing something. Now, if I get bad service at a place, Blake, what do I do if I get bad service?
The ban list.
They get put on a ban list for 6 months.
6 months.
They're not a lifetime ban, but they get put on a ban list. Now, I'll come back and we'll see if you'll do okay the next time.
Now,
But they just don't get my money.
Right. Which is fine.
But also, I will say it's not only restaurants. There have been like other locations as well, stores, like bakeries, art galleries got to get put on a ban list sometimes as well.
Yeah, when you and usually 9 times out of 10, it's not so much the product, it's the service and how you made me feel.
Right.
And that's when you get put on the ban list. So, or I look at it something and I'm like, all right, they did that on purpose.
They were putting you on the ban list.
Maybe they were.
Okay.
Maybe they were. So they were like, oh, I've heard of Troy's ban list. Let's go with that. So, yep. All right. Social media.
Okay.
This is our last, and then we're going to go to 5 questions. Social media, which we are on, and this is the platform we use
Right.
is through social media in so many different ways. I mean, it's part of our business. Social media, there are people that claim to be experts that are nowhere near experts. There are smart people out there that people don't know their names, and they should be listening to. So when getting information from social media, like us,
Right.
like the 904 Now,
There's just so much of it out
I
there.
strongly encourage you to get it from other places too.
Mhm.
And if we line up with you, we want you to stay with us. If we don't line up with you, we're sorry. We still would love to have you. Even if you want to listen in and say, hey, Troy, that's not right. I'm okay with that too.
Right.
I'm completely okay with that. But be cautious of who you're watching if it's fake. There's so many fakes
that's
out
the
there
problem
and so many
nowadays.
scams
It's going to get
and
worse.
so many stories that aren't right. I mean, just from this one incident, the person was a trans person. That's why they did it. The person was a right-wing radical, and they didn't think he was right enough. That's why they did it. And there's stories going around, and let this man have his family have their peace. Does it matter why he's not here? It matters that we lost a human being life.
Right. To murder.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean
he didn't have a heart attack.
yeah. So hey, Kathy just joined us.
Yeah.
So
I will say like the reason why like a lot of people are like worrying about like all this information about the person that was involved was because like who's gonna be like the main mouthpiece that's when we getting this message across that says like okay, so if this information comes out from official sources, then what is the president of the United States going to say about it then?
well, and that's part of the problem too. I want people to make their own decisions, not that the president's saying this is the decision you should make. All right, and not that the leader of that party says that this is the decision you should make. That's the beauty of our country. We have free will to think and create our own. The information's there.
Mm-hmm.
Go and find it. Find the one that lines up with you the best, and then that's the one you're going to choose.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, we line up with a lot of people, a lot broader, and that hopefully we kind of connect with people because we're all in this together. I mean, if you go to my 2 cents, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about being human. And that's just be nice. It's not that freaking hard.
Right. Be kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be nice.
Yeah. Where's Ellen DeGeneres now when you need her?
Oh, no.
If she was beating her employees?
Yeah, exactly. No.
Well, that was the other thing. She was everything about be kind, and then behind the scenes, I don't think she was so kind, apparently.
So,
Mhm.
But I mean, and I think Barbara Jean's talking about conspiracy. There's conspiracy theories about every single thing out there, and every single. And I'm not a true conspiracy theory. I see some things. I think I have a really strong task analysis skills. I can break down something very quickly and understand where the source is coming from and where this is coming from. And I continue to do that while I'm in the conversation. And I think that allows me to be neutral in a lot of different scenarios that I don't think other people do. And it's because I literally try and break down and go, all right, this is what they're saying, but what would the other person say on this side? Whether you've made your opinion on what their thought is already, all that stuff's processing with me. So, and
and Barbara Jean's saying now that it's a conspiracy with over 20 conspirators involved, and I think, is getting this from social media as opposed to
exactly it.
He's saying, according to what the published reports from the police sources or the FBI sources, he allegedly admitted to it, turned himself in, and said, "I did it this was all me. There was nobody else involved in it." So it's going to go on. It
sounds like he came from it sounds like he came from a strong family.
Yep.
His dad was, I think, in law enforcement or something. I mean,
church going.
Yeah, and also made it sound like that their pastor also convinced him to put it in as well.
Excuse
so
me.
you can. That's the one time you can move that microphone away from you.
Sorry, Amanda. It'll be here for you in the morning.
That's the closest he's ever been to the mic right then.
And you coughed in it. Yeah,
Amanda,
Hi, Amanda.
we will sterilize.
We'll sanitize this before we get to you. Don't you worry.
but another thing I want
It's only the measles, and I haven't had a vaccine. No.
Yeah, but another thing as well, like a lot of misinformation as well, and I know that you're on Facebook a lot as well. Have you been seeing like a lot of like the AI like posts as well, like not only talk about like Charlie Kirk hugging Jesus or like that type of photos, but there's also been like photos of like of a Facebook post of like Charlie Kirk's dad getting hugs from like Adam Sandler, like stuff like people making posts.
See,
like
that's just not appropriate.
Yeah,
and like the fact that you're looking at that's what I'm talking about exactly. That doesn't stimulate your brain in any way. I am a scroller past that. Now you've even caught me going, Dad, that's fake. I was like, oh, okay,
right,
yeah, and. I was like, oh, what about that? Nope, that's fake. Because we go through a lot of stories, like you go through the most of all of us, and we got to decipher that.
But my question then is like okay,
hey, you're in trouble with Barbara Jean right now.
I know.
You get Amanda sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not my intention.
Yeah, but my question is like so if but let's say if we do see that post, but it's not like that post. Someone like we know and care about that might have a voice shares that post as well. Like should we be the ones to say, hey, that's AI. That story you see is not true. That image was artificial intelligence. Should we like make a comment like that in the post, like message them like in the back end like.
And I think you got to train yourself to understand what is AI and what is not AI. There's a human factor in everything. Kenny says AI has taken over the internet. AI has taken over the internet controlled by humans. So they're taking the technology and it's a human that's controlling how that's taken over the internet. So that's like saying the gun shot you. No, the gun didn't shoot you.
Somebody
the
put
person's
a
finger on that trigger is who shot you. So a broad statement like that are the things you have to warn and train your brain against so that you don't fall for stuff like that. Spam risk. Should I answer it on air, Blake? You love when I answer these.
No.
Ah, okay.
Probably not the right time to say that because of what you usually say during.
Yeah, no. I usually tell people they're calling a crime scene.
Yeah.
So.
The problem with AI now and the fact that it's controlled by humans at this point, and hopefully it will stay that way, but, I'm unsure of that as well, is the fact that some of these people are also putting their directions in it as well. And the fact that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but 2 weeks ago, thank you.
I want to get rid of that tickle in your throat.
Thank you. That's all it was.
Yeah. I understand.
That Elon Musk's, what is Grok is his AI?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah, I mean,
yes,
he
that's Grok.
said something about 2 or 3 weeks ago that he's going to have Grok answer questions with a more conservative focus.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point in time, it's not, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. It's not balanced. It's just, it's got a position at that point in time. It's got a direction. So, and by the way, I got to give Elon Musk an awful lot of credit, man. He just made himself a fortune without batting an eye today.
Mm-hmm.
He bought $1 billion. We should all go out and do this. He bought $1 billion worth of Tesla stock as proof that he's sticking around for the company and that he can get his, work his way to his $1 trillion salary in whatever it is, 10 years from now.
Yeah.
Good for him. You know how much money he made? Because the stock went up somewhere between 20 and 40 bucks.
Probably another $3-4
I
billion.
thought it was like 8 billion.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it might have, by the end of the day, it may have.
After taxes,
right. $12.50 cash.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Got to give the man credit for being smart.
yeah, and he just he
Not
made
objective, but smart.
he made in 1 year if he was to sell it for that value, which he'll never do. So he didn't technically made it,
Right. It's all
but
on paper.
his value went up that more than Blake. I see if you can Google how many countries entire GDPs under $8 billion.
All right, let's see.
I imagine, and give me like the biggest 3 or 4.
Yeah.
That's the entire country's
Yeah,
GDP.
It only closed up
hold on.
$14, but it was up 20 and something earlier in the day.
While I'm doing that right now, I just want your theories on this. Do you think Elon did this so that he can become the world's richest man again? Because like during the week, Larry Ellison of Oracle became the world's richest man.
I don't think they keep scoring that as much as we do.
Right.
I really don't. I don't think. I mean, when you get to that level of money, it doesn't matter.
Right.
So,
So yeah, the key to the executive washroom or not.
yeah. I mean, you got he got his window office. So does Ellison.
Right.
That's what it's all about. All right, 5 questions. You are in charge, sir.
Okay.
Of the 5 questions, we have 17 minutes. Blake's going to interrupt and tell us what countries.
All right. Well, a couple of these are
GDPs.
pretty easy.
Okay.
All right.
True and false.
No.
Okay. Not that easy.
Multiple choice. Milk
right.
chocolate, dark chocolate, or white chocolate?
I'm milk chocolate for the most part.
Okay.
I love certain dark chocolate. I like a dark chocolate if I'm eating a dark chocolate around a cashew.
Okay. Yeah.
So a dark chocolate mixed with something, or if I'm drinking a wine, I'm a dark chocolate.
Okay. That works.
White chocolate, I like white chocolate, but it's probably a 3rd place finisher.
I like white chocolate in small doses.
Yeah.
It's nice for a change. Blake?
I'm gonna say no chocolate.
No chocolate.
Well, then you probably like white chocolate because there's no cocoa solids in there.
Yeah, there's no real chocolate in white chocolate.
Nope.
That's cocoa butter. Yeah, exactly.
As soon as I hear chocolate, I just go nope.
Yeah, and his brain won't let him even try.
Yeah.
But he used to eat chocolate, even though I had to prove to him that he ate chocolate before. So.
All right.
And I'm with Kathy and Kenny, and I'm going dark all the way.
Yeah. All right.
But it's interesting though because you said dark wrapped around things. Raisinets or chocolate covered raisins.
Mm-hmm.
Dark chocolate covered raisins don't work for me as well as regular milk chocolate coated raisinets.
Okay.
So yeah. Okay.
All right. Did you guys want the answer for how many countries are below 8 billion GDP?
Yes.
38.
38. What is the largest country? That's the most recognizable country that's on that list.
All right. Let's see. We got the Isle of Man, Fiji, Liberia. We also got Djibouti, Aruba, Andorra, South Sudan, Bhutan, Central African Republic. We got St. Lucia, Antigua, Barbados, Barbuda, San Marino, Solomon Islands, Grenada, St. Vincent, Samoa, St. Kitts and Nevis, American Samoa.
So there's no real big ones out there. I mean,
there's no major.
Liberia is a pretty big country, but we knew how poor they were. There was no shockers on there for me.
There's no major big shockers like it's all like the port like the mainland African countries and then the Caribbean islands.
No. All right. Thank you, Blake, for that.
You're welcome.
All right. Question number 2.
Staying with food.
Staying with food.
Peanut butter.
I try not to stay with food. I like humans better. Oh, Okay.
I don't know. Something curling up with a cookie and a good book ain't a bad thing.
Peanut butter.
Right.
All right.
Creamy, or smooth, super chunky or chunky, and then brand.
I am probably a Jif guy more than anything else.
Mm-hmm. Completely agree.
And I wouldn't go super crunchy. And I like crunchy more as a kid than I do now because I have summer teeth
Right.
and I have a plate and chunky
Yeah, they get
peanuts get trapped in there. So I'm probably smooth Jif at this point.
And I completely agree. I'm a Jif guy all the way, and smooth is the answer. At a certain point in time, chunky, and when they started getting super chunky, you know, if you're using like a white bread, it rips the bread apart when you're trying to spread it on there too.
Yeah.
Blake?
What? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, it's okay.
I'm gonna say creamy, but especially with a fluffernutter.
Okay.
Oh, welcome back to my world, Mr. Fluffernutter. Thank you very much.
You were the Fluffernutter provider.
Okay. We can do
what's
that
the
again.
most
That's good for you.
Unusual way that you've eaten peanut butter. Peanut butter
Well,
can be
on a
used
spoon
in a
is
lot
just perfect.
yeah, I see, and I don't think that's that rare.
No, not in the least at
Yeah.
all. Question: refrigerator or counter?
Counter.
I go back and forth.
On the peanut butter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the cabinet. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
it's
as
not in
much-
the,
but-
it's not in the fridge.
But sometimes I put it in the refrigerator, and then it you know, then you can play with it because it becomes all, you know, solid.
All
Hard,
right,
firm.
my peanut butter hack, and you said on the spoon, is when you take an apple and you cut little wedges in it, all right, and then you put the peanut butter actually in the apple, and you eat the apple with the peanut butter in it, like you know, creating the wedge, and then you can still dip the other wedge that you've cut out and use it that way too.
Now, there's two things you need to consider with that. First of all, you can't do that if you keep your refrigerator in your peanut butter in the refrigerator
Doesn't
because
work.
it's too firm and it won't work.
It won't.
Because I like dipping pretzels in my peanut butter, so it's got to be on the counter.
Mhm.
Also, when it gets too far down, then you need an implement to get in there because if you're going in with your fingers, once it gets past the, you know, a third of the top is done, you're getting peanut butter all over your fingers when you're dipping in the jar. So that's tough to do too. But I'm big on taking dark chocolate and dipping it in my peanut butter
Yeah.
and pretzels.
Yeah. Where the hell is this peanut butter allergy bullshit coming from?
Now they say
That's
start
the
kids on
entire
peanut
site.
butter dust and peanut butter when they're young. And,
Entire
you know,
society, yeah. Just
Yeah.
kind of get them with moms. Don't be such a wuss. Just eat what you were going to eat when you were.
And speaking a little bit about cancel culture, I remember like last year we did like a weird story about a Florida brewery having to cancel a peanut butter flavored ale called EpiPen.
Oh,
But everyone got super upset about it. It was like, dude, just it's fine as long as you don't have a peanut allergy. You don't need the EpiPen.
Yeah, and I'm with Kathy too. Peanut butter with celery because it's so nice. It fits right in that
It
little.
fits.
It fits right in that little crack.
yeah, it fits. So big peanut butter.
Peanut butter
fan.
and banana, very Elvis of you, Barbara Jean,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he drizzled honey on top too.
Yes,
Ooh,
it does.
yeah. and bacon. Isn't there bacon?
Yeah, I think so. I think he fried it though. I think he fried
It was
the-
like a grilled cheese.
Grilled
yeah.
cheese.
Yeah, exactly. I had one in Graceland, as a matter of fact, because that's what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize Graceland's only 13 acres.
Well, it's also Graceland, the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's an
museum
entire
itself.
microcosm because
Yeah.
across the street is, you know, the gift shop and his airplane and a whole little another museum area right across the street from Graceland. So you can get
Yeah.
on his,
I'm watching
TCB jet, taking care of business.
I watched the first half of it last night, the documentary on Elvis and his relationship with the Colonel, and just it was really
Sanders?
Weird.
not Colonel Sanders, Colonel Parker.
Colonel Tom Parker, yeah.
Yeah, Colonel Parker, and you know why he never toured in Europe is because Colonel Parker didn't have a passport. Instead of going and getting a passport and helping out his client, he wanted to control him so much, and he wanted, and you know, Elvis had, you know, he stayed out of political views and he stayed out of a lot of that stuff. He's like, I have my thoughts. You know, I served in the military, you know, because Vietnam was very hot at that time. And he said, you know, no one really should base their opinion on my thoughts. So, and I felt like that was a safe answer. but I felt like I think that was honestly what he thought.
Yeah. Well.
All right. All right. What we got?
When was the last time you used or heard the word dungarees?
What?
Have you ever heard that word, Blake?
No.
No?
I think
Maybe possibly during like a show,
See?
like
It's
so.
interesting.
what do you consider as dungarees, Blake?
I have no freaking idea.
Really?
Okay, I'm going to stand up.
Okay.
Oh no.
These, Blake, are dungarees.
Blue jeans.
These are jeans.
What?
And
Yeah.
younger generation doesn't realize that. Now, the other definition is, and Josh says he's never
Never heard of it
that
either? Wow.
The other definition from DeLand is if your overalls are made of denim,
Right.
those were considered more dungarees than just jeans.
Okay.
So there was that dual definition from where I grew up. So you could be talking about your bibs that were made from denim, but they were overalls if they were painter overalls. They weren't dungarees at that
Right.
point. So, but
Painter overalls are usually white, too.
yeah. So
Yeah, that's interesting. We're not afraid to ask tough questions around here.
yeah. So Blake
As you
and
people in
Josh, you had
dungarees.
no idea
All
what
right.
dungarees was. Kathy says when she was 10 or 12. I
Yeah.
think I actually may have heard the term a couple weeks ago or months ago.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, there was something in passing. I don't know if it was on like Jeopardy or something goofy like that. Yes, Barbara Jean, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
So you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Um,
Is Bobby here today?
no,
Oh man.
He's missing on the phone, yeah.
He knew what a dungaree
I
was.
would think. Okay, all right.
So,
Here's one for you. Favorite sitcom of all time.
favorite sitcom of all time. Can we come back to me? Because
Sure.
there's so many to choose from.
Sure. I had to think
And
about it and narrowed
yeah.
it down. I took the easy way out.
Because I can tell you I wasn't a huge sitcom guy.
Mm.
So what's your answer?
I gotta go with MASH.
MASH.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That would have been in my top three. Blake, what is your answer?
I'm gonna have to. Jeez, I really don't.
And he has
no,
less.
no,
he has less of a frame of reference,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
it's a little bit less of a frame of reference because I don't really want to say like Big Bang Theory because I wasn't a huge fan of Sheldon for obvious reasons.
See, I think you should be a big
Right,
fan of his.
exactly.
No, no.
Yeah, you just don't like it when I call you that.
Yes, I don't like that. Sitcom. I'm gonna say The Office.
The Office
Okay.
is great. Yeah, see, and I like most of the classics.
Mhm.
All in the Family, MASH, going from that generation. I think the one that I associated with the most is probably Cheers.
Okay.
Because I do like to belly up to a bar and
Mhm.
hang out with friends and just shoot it and just, solve the world's problems, forget about it, go home, live life, come back and do it all over again. So, and I like a place where everyone knows your name.
There you go.
So I'm probably, and I loved the sarcasm of MASH. I think it was brilliantly
Mhm.
written.
Yep.
Probably one of the best written sitcoms of all time. And so I'm going to stick. A lot of people are Seinfeld out there, but
Yeah, I
I
could
think
never get into that.
I think Cheers is the one I associated with the most.
Okay.
So, and if people who know me throughout my life, Kathy's known me a long time, that's pretty much, go play ball, go to the bar,
Okay.
have a drink, solve the world's problems, start all over again.
Right.
So,
Wash, rinse, repeat.
yeah. So I think MASH is the one that closely associates with my frame of reference of life. And I think that is the one I got to go with. And I love Big Bang Theory. So
Yeah, we do too.
yeah, I love the Big Bang Theory, and I've gotten into young Sheldon a little bit, and
Yeah, that got tired. Tough to watch repeats on that one.
he
He gets a little persnickety.
yeah he was a little over the top in
Yeah.
young Sheldon.
Yeah.
So, all right.
But yeah, and then you forget. There's just so many of them. You forget about things like, I'm 1,000 years old, but like Father Knows Best or things like that,
Mhm,
or
My
Hazel,
My Three
My Three
Sons.
Sons.
Yeah.
Yep. Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
There's,
But
there's Hogan's Heroes.
good show.
Yeah.
Good show.
So it's tough.
Yeah.
All right.
From shows situation comedies from the 50s. Which one would you consider from the 50s? Because I have one that really sticks out with me, and it's also one that associates with my life. And you want to hear it first, or you want to try and guess it?
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember. I mean, it could be Ozzie and Harriet. It could be Hazel. I'm trying to remember what was the 50s.
You definitely didn't know my family.
Fair enough.
Dobie Gillis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Life's because my brain has always worked the way it works now, even when I was in high school, and I can see myself sitting on the statue and trying to solve the world's problems, and I can see myself having a friend like Maynard G. Krebs.
There you go.
I mean, I know I have. There's one friend I'm thinking of right now that I would consider him the Maynard G. Krebs of my life.
Kathy said, "I Love Lucy."
I Love Lucy.
That was a generational classic.
No,
for sure.
that's a great call from the 50s, but
Yep.
Dobie Gillis is the one that I kind of associate, and I've watched it already in reruns. Obviously, I wasn't born until '67, so
right.
All right.
Well, that's the thing too. You know, there's so many that you know you don't even know of anymore. You know, the freaking Jack Benny show.
yeah. And I was going to ask that if we needed another question, like a variety show or a musical show, because I would consider like The Voice and some of those.
All right. Well, then I got you backed up on this. I was going to ask, you know, which CSI do you trust the most? Vegas, Miami, New York, or Cyber? But we'll save on that one because
I've never watched one of them.
then you
No, I mean, I've seen episodes,
Okay.
but I've never got into I can tell you this: if it came on, I wouldn't be able to tell you that's Las Vegas or that's Atlanta
Right.
or that's
Well,
Melbourne.
The only one that I really liked is whichever one had the from Who Won't Get Fooled Again by the Who. I think that was Miami.
That was Miami, but you could tell Miami because every episode starts with David Caruso leaning over the body, making a bad pun, and taking his sunglasses off.
Yeah.
Or putting his sunglasses on. We used to have more fun laughing at poor David Caruso,
Yeah,
who
but
apparently got beat up by a girl at one point in time and put in a trash can, but that's a story for another
yeah,
day.
but I do think
It's
a lot
only
of,
happened to me once.
I do think a lot of people like the Law and Order series more than like the CSIs or NCISs.
27 years. 27 years Mariska Hargitay has been doing that gig.
Yeah.
27 years.
Yeah, and I can tell you that that's not really anything that I'm really into.
Yeah,
I loved Hill Street Blues, and
Yep.
I loved
NYPD Blue.
NYPD
Yep.
Blue.
Yep.
I love both of those shows,
Mhm.
but I never got into CSI. I never got into any of those shows.
Yeah.
All right, but the question
All
I
right.
was going to ask was, of all the different musical shows, you got going back to the Dean Martin, Jack Benny variety
Okay.
shows, stuff like that, all the way up to like The Voice, American Idol, The Masked Singer, all of the music shows out there, because we got hundreds to choose from, maybe thousands to choose from. Which musical based show or variety show is the one that you absolutely love? Because I was going to go with skit comedies, but there was no competition on that one. That was all obviously Carol Burnett
I guess
over SNL.
Laugh-In didn't have music. Otherwise, I would say Laugh-In without a doubt.
I would consider that skit comedy.
Yeah.
So
Um,
Love American Style. You remember that show?
very much so.
Love American.
Exciting and new. Oh, no, that's the Love Boat,
That's yeah.
which was basically the same thing.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
Love American Style on the water.
Yeah, they brought in B celebrities or C celebrities and made a
You
funny
calling Charo a C celebrity?
show. Yes.
She was on a Love Boat.
The
like,
fact that she was famous at all is amazing.
well, she
All right.
married Xavier Cugat.
Musical shows. So we got 0 minutes.
I'll go with Dean Martin and the Gold Diggers.
Dean Martin and the Gold Diggers, or the
Oh.
variety show?
What was the Dean Martin show? And wasn't his backup dancers the Gold Diggers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Gold Diggers. So the entire show. Okay, all right, because he had other guests on too. Blake,
Well,
go ahead.
yeah.
Favorite music show. I know they have a lot more stuff on it, but America's Got Talent.
America's Got Talent. No, that's a great answer. All right, here's where I'm at. Okay, I saw Sonny and Cher in there.
Yeah.
Good show. I go with where I grew up, and I don't think a lot of people on here really do appreciate it, but Hee Haw was just a great show, and that's why it lasted so long. It had talented people. It was funny. It was a skit show, and it had so Hee Haw. I think basically nudged out Donnie and Marie.
Well, I know what a
Not to
big
be
Donnie
confused
fan
with
you
the
are.
Jackson 5. So,
Well, I have that hard time.
all right.
Okay.
We are at the end of this show. We want to say thank you to all our amazing sponsors. We appreciate everybody out there. I do like American Idol.
I like the voice better.
We'll do that. We'll do that question tomorrow morning on the morning show about musical movie.
Movies.
Yeah, musical movies that you love the best.
Not a double feature.
Not a double feature.
Got some Elvis movies in
Blake, you got any plugs out there that we need to throw out to our wonderful people?
No plugs as of right now.
All right. Amanda will be back with us in the morning. Thank you, Lenny. It was a great conversation we had. Wonderful questions, sir. You did a fine job of those.
there. And you would have liked my sixth one, which we'll save for next week.
All right. We can save that for next week, or I can steal it from you this week.
Wait, hold on. Aren't you gone next week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. Aren't you?
Yes.
Well, you give it to me now. So
All
I
right.
can-
Well, it's interesting because
I'll tell you what. Give it to me. I'll write it down for Wednesday.
okay.
Okay. So you stick around for that. But I appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. I appreciate the sponsors here in the Bozard Ford studio, and thank you for letting us do what we do.
Stay safe and live in peace.
Bye-bye.